Download and upload more than ever before with an ultra-fast fiber connection. With 3 simple steps, you can be the one with an SLT fiber optic connection. Visit slt.lk.
The end game. Attorney General tells the court that there is enough evidence against former DIG Nalakadi Silva on the alleged VIP assassination plot. Not a populist budget. Minister of Finance Mangala Samaraveera refutes allegations levelled by the opposition. Resolution in question. The government to seek an extension to the timeline of the co-sponsored Resolution 30/1. The President meanwhile names his representatives for the UNHRC session. Tinkering with the executive. The opposition leader and the JVP discussed changes to the 13th Amendment as well as the electoral system. All that and much more coming up on First at 9 this Wednesday, the 6th of March 2019.
From Ada Derana, this is Ada Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening and welcome to First at 9, another Derana 24, Sri Lanka's news channel. I'm Katharina Chang. Now on to our top story tonight. TV Derana and Other Derana 24/7 clinched 6 People's Awards at the 13th Slim Nielsen People's Awards, which was held in Colombo last night. The prestigious awards included the Television Channel of the Year and Youth Choice Television Channel of the Year, as well as News Provider of the Year. The 13th Slim Nielsen People's Awards 2019 was held at the Water's Edge, Battaramulla yesterday under the patronage of Professor J.B. Dissanayaka. The annual Slim Nielsen People's Awards night is an initiative by the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing and the Nielsen Company, one of the largest research companies in Sri Lanka, to identify and acknowledge brands and personalities that have made a profound impression upon the people of the country. This is the second consecutive year that TV Derana was adjudged the Television Channel of the Year at the Slim Nielsen People's Awards.
Everybody come on, put your hands together. Let's hear it for TV Derana.
TV Derana also became the Youth Choice Television Channel of the Year in recognition of its programs which serve all in society.
TV Derana, put your hands together, everybody, for TV Derana.
Slim Nielsen People's Youth Choice Television.
Consolidating the confidence placed by people on Other Derana, Derana also won the prestigious title of News Provider of the Year.
Created a beautiful studio recently.
Jatyantara Pramithya.
TV Derana News.
Two teledramas by TV Derana, Devani Inima and Sidhu, were nominated for the People's Award of Teledrama of the Year. Accordingly, Devani Inima was adjudged the Teledrama of the Year.
People's Teledrama of the Year. Devani Inima.
Meanwhile, Other Derana's news presenter Chatur Alvis won the award for the Television Presenter of the Year at the award ceremony held last night. The award was received by fellow presenter Dilka Samanmali.
Chatur Alvis.
Furthermore, Nayantara Wickramaarachi, who portrayed the character of Devmi in the telegram Devani Inima, was awarded the Teledrama Actress of the Year award. President Maithripala Sirisena has appointed 3 representatives to attend the ongoing 40th regular session of the United Nations Human Rights Council session in Geneva. Accordingly, parliamentarian Dr. Sarath Amunagama and Mahinda Samarasinha and Governor of the Northern Province, Dr. Suren Raghavan, will be attending the 40th UNHRC session as the President's representatives. They will appeal to the UNHRC to allow Sri Lanka to handle its own issues without pressure from the international community. President Maithripala Sirisena held discussions with the heads of media organizations at the President's house in Colombo today.
On the 22nd and 23rd of March, Sri Lanka will be a topic of discussion during the ongoing UNHRC session. I will send 3 of my representatives to Geneva. All of you know how these problems came to be, and it isn't good for the country. My representatives will ask them to let us handle our own issues without pressurizing us when making proposals. Help will also be sought to live peacefully as a united country, as it's been 10 years since the war ended, and there is no point in reminding ourselves of old wounds. I believe they will respond to us in a positive manner.
යහපත් ප්‍රතිචාරයක් පිළිබඳව ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ප්‍රවේශයක් හෝ ඇති වෙයි කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා.
මරණ දණ්ඩනය ගැන ඔබතුමා විවිධ ප්‍රකාශ කිහිපයක් කළා. දැන් ඔබතුමා කව මාස කිහිපයකින් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් තීරණයක් ගන්නවා කියලා. මොකක්ද ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් තියෙන අලුත්ම තත්ත්වය ඔබතුමන්? මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් ජාත්‍යන්තරව යුරෝපා සංගමය වගේ විරෝධතාවය දක්වලා තිබ්බා GSP+ පවා අපිට අහිමි වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා.
ඔය විරෝධතාව දක්වන
I would like to ask all those who oppose this decision to come to the country and tell me as to what they have done to eradicate this drug menace. Everyone only wants to point the finger at us with allegations of human rights, but none of them have actually helped us to overcome this issue that is destroying the country. So, to save our country and children from this problem, I will implement the death penalty in spite of any objections.
ඒ නිසා කවුරු විරුද්ධ වුණත් මම ඒක කරනවා.
විශේෂයෙන්ම මහ බැංකුවේ හිටපු අධිපති අර්ජුන් මහේන්ද්‍රන් රටින් පිට වෙලා ඉන්නේ. නමුත් දැන් ඔබතුමාට තියෙනවා පොලිසිය සහ සියලුම ආරක්ෂක අංශ. ඒ සඳහා ඔබතුමා විශේෂ වැඩපිළිවෙලක් යොදනවාද ඕ ලංකාවට ගෙන්නන්න?
ඉතින් මට ගේන්න පුළුවන් මේ රට ඇතුලේ ඉන්නවා නම් මගේ නිලධාරීන් කරයි.
My officials can arrest him if he is in the country, but no one actually knows where he is. The Interpol has issued a red notice for his arrest anywhere in the world. I had a one-on-one discussion with the Singapore's Prime Minister regarding Mahendran, where the PM said he will take measures against Mahendran if he is in Singapore. Our officials can easily arrest him if we know where he is.
කොහේ හරි ඉන්න තැනක් දන්නවා නම් අපේ නිලධාරියවල වට කරන්න පුළුවන්.
Meanwhile, the government today announced that it will seek an extension to the timeline of Resolution 30/1 through a co-sponsored rollover resolution during the ongoing 40th regular session of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. A special joint communique was issued today by the Prime Minister's Office, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Department of Government Information, saying that this initiative will further attest to Sri Lanka's ownership of the implementation process and to its continued policy of constructive engagement and dialogue with the UN and bilateral partners. Now, if succeeded, this will be the second effort by the government to extend the timeline of this resolution after officials work closely with the core group comprising of the US, UK, Macedonia and Montenegro to extend its timeline during the 34th session of the Human Rights Council on the 23rd of March 2017. Now, there's continued backlash over Sri Lanka's co-sponsorship of this resolution, and the government's communique today described these allegations to be a part of a campaign to mislead the public and gain undue political advantage.
As per the resolution 30/1 of the 1st of October in 2015, which was extended for the first time on the 23rd of March in 2017, the High Commissioner for Human Rights is required to present a comprehensive report followed by a discussion on the implementation of the Council resolution at the 40th session of the Council. The action of the High Commissioner's Office on Sri Lanka is based entirely on this report, which will be presented to the Council on the 20th of this month. The joint communique by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Prime Minister's Office and the Department of Government Information says it is in this backdrop that a further extension of 2 years through a co-sponsored rollover resolution needs to be viewed. Following United States' withdrawal from the Human Rights Council, the government hopes to join hands with the United Kingdom, the current core group leader, in co-sponsoring this rollover resolution. The government hopes that this strategy will prevent international war crimes allegations being continually levelled against Sri Lankans. The communique also says that concrete efforts over the past few years, such as the establishment of Missing Persons Office, Office for Reparations, independent commissions, as well as the enactment of a number of enabling laws, including the right to information, led Sri Lanka to benefit from economic dividends, including GSP Plus concessions. The government ensures that the pride of Sri Lankan war heroes has been protected, while the confidence of the international community has been gained by being a part of the Human Rights Council process.
Meanwhile, politicians express mixed views about the appropriation bill for the year.
This budget is a debt trap. All the debt we had from the day of the independence was only 7 trillion rupees, and this government has increased it to 12 trillion rupees by the end of 2018. It will further increase by 2.5 trillion by the end of this year. With that, there is a threat of the debt burden increasing to 88%, which was earlier at 72%. If a program to stabilize the price of paddy is introduced, it could be a relief to the farmers. They have given what the TNA requires. MP Sumandiran said yesterday that this is a very good budget. Through this budget, they are allowing the MPs of the TNA to benefit from personal loan scheme. What people expect from the budget is a reduction in prices of goods. This budget doesn't give anything for free. This country can't be developed by reducing prices of tea, coconut, sugar or any other goods.
ජනතාවට බැරෑරුම් කියලා හිතන ප්‍රශ්න ගණනාවකට විශේෂයෙන්ම පිළිතුරු දීපු අයවැයක් කියන මම දකින්නේ තාමත්ම හොඳ අයවැයක් කාන්තාව වෙනුවෙන් විශේෂ වැඩ කොටසක් මේ අයවැයෙන් කරලා තියෙනවා කියන එක මම කැමතියි.
Expressing his views on the budget proposal he tabled yesterday, Minister of Finance Bangla Samarivira says it addresses the marginalised in society instead of being a populist budget or one that targets elections. Speaking at a budget discussion held in Colombo today, the minister highlighted that this budget supports India and China market entry strategy.
I would like to say that what was presented is not an election budget. Some say that this is a populist budget, some say they were expecting a populist budget, but I personally like to think of the budget as a caring budget which empowers of the people and nurtures the poor. On one hand, this budget is about free trade, free enterprise and global markets, the values we must nurture and empower our next generation with, and the state of excluded members of our society. So all these excluded members must also be taken into account in devising a budget and driving entrepreneurship and private enterprise. And of course, I must admit, certain liberalization measures are still to be done, like the liberalization of the shipping sector. In fact, the government has already taken further remedial action to address cash flow in the economy, as the Treasury has released rupees 60 billion to settle outstanding payments to contractors, while the central bank has relaxed the statutory reserve requirement on 2 occasions, releasing a further 150 billion rupees. Therefore, a total of over 270 billion has recently, in the last few months, been injected into the system. That includes, as I said, the enterprise Sri Lanka loans as well. We are beginning to see the benefits of these interventions as consumption has been in an upward motion in the economy since the 4th quarter of 2018. And we are also investing heavily in urban and national rail systems that include the Colombo City Light Rail project. In fact, we also hope to offer the private sector the opportunity to run private trains on some of the railway tracks. Our friends in the trade unions need not panic. It is not privatization, at least not as yet. Exports. We will also support the ongoing programs in this sector, including the National Export Strategy and the Export Market Access Program. The budget also supports India and China market entry strategy. Firms establishing in India, China and other key markets will be supported by proposed priority sector trading houses to our firms, secure distribution networks, buyer linkages and other support in market penetration.
Leader of the opposition Mahinda Rajapaksa today highlighted that all 3 elements of the executive presidency, the 13th Amendment and the election system are interconnected. He therefore says that changes must be made to the 13th Amendment as well as the election system in order to remove the executive presidency. The opposition leader expressed his stance during a meeting held with Janatha Vimukthi Peramuna today.
Representatives of the opposition leaders said that they agree with the abolishment of the executive presidency. However, they said that they should consider the fact that the electoral system, the 13th Amendment and the executive presidency are all interconnected. We believe that a system of governance which is focused on the parliament is better than a system which focuses on the president. We agree with the abolishment of the executive presidency and a change in the electoral system. But if the abolishment process has to be redone for the purpose, we have doubts over whether we will be able to hold elections properly. We have pointed out that we can go for short-term amendments. Therefore, we think that discussions were something of a success. However, it is still debatable whether the 20th Amendment should be brought or not. We said that we can't completely agree with the 20th Amendment. The executive presidency can't be removed in isolation. We clearly stated our stance and we had lengthy discussions regarding an electoral system which suits the country while calling for a parliamentary election as soon as possible. The joint opposition is a group. We have to report about this discussion to them. These are not things I can personally decide. They have fixed a date for the 14th. The discussions will decide the future.
The Norwegian government has agreed to provide 60 million Norwegian krones over a period of 3 years for mine action in Sri Lanka. During a meeting held with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in Colombo yesterday, Norwegian State Secretary Marianne Hagen announced Norway's contribution, stating, quote, Sri Lanka has been heavily contaminated by landmines, but the country is now approaching its goal of becoming mine-free, unquote. In the meantime, Norwegian Minister of Foreign Affairs Ine Marie Eriksen Solde said, quote, mine clearance efforts are an important part of the reconciliation process and means that families who were forced to leave their homes during the war can return home safely, unquote. By December of last year, 94% of the mined areas had been cleared in Sri Lanka. Now, the Vehicle Importers Association says that vehicle prices will go up by considerable amounts due to the production tax on motor vehicles, which was introduced by the budget reading yesterday. Now, presenting the United National Front government's fifth budget, Finance Minister Mangda Samavira said that the tax increase will be applicable from today onwards.
The Vehicle Importers Association of Sri Lanka states that the tax increase on imports of motor vehicles by the budget 2019 will shoot prices of motor vehicles up by a considerable amount. Chairman of the association, Indika Sampath Merenchige, says that the price of a Toyota Vitz car may go up by approximately 256,000 rupees. The association chairman also says that the price of a Toyota Allion car may go up by about 670,000 rupees. He also believes that the price of a Toyota Premio will also go up by the same amount. He added that the price of a Toyota Aqua hybrid vehicle may go up by approximately $500,000 rupees. The price of a Toyota Axio is set to rise by around 700,000 rupees, while the price of a Toyota Weasel will see a 600,000 rupee price increase. The association's chairman further warns that the price of a Honda Fit might go up by $500,000 rupees. He noted that the price of a Wagon-R as well as an Alto may go up by 150,000 rupees. Furthermore, the revision of excise duty and the implementation of luxury tax on motor vehicles will result in the price of a BMW vehicle being hiked by approximately 11.3 million rupees.
They are removed the 200% LC margin limits. Again, import will be increased. This time they introduce a new tax. Luxury tax is a different way. They are based on the value. Still they are discussing how to get the value like that. We are considering all things. This budget, they increase the tax, and this year imports will be decreased and people can't afford that price. I think this year difficult year for us also, because we can't import this kind of tax for vehicles.
With that, we cross over to short commercial break, so make sure you stay tuned.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel. This is Derana 24.
Welcome back to the news. The much anticipated and delayed appropriation bill for the remainder of 2019 was presented to Parliament by Minister of Finance Mangala Samaraweera yesterday. And today parliamentarians had the first debate on the second reading of the budget. The third reading will take place from the 13th of March to the 5th of April.
I'm
telling State Minister of Finance Iran Wickramaratne that there was no debts of 90 billion rupees to be paid by the 31st of December last year. I'm telling you that this number you have presented is wrong. You lied to the IMF yesterday. I'm very happy that even the State Minister of Finance says that they misled. I'm very happy that even the State Minister of Finance says that they had misled the IMF. This really is such a relief. Even the IMF accepts that this is a bygone economy, so there is no point in Finance Minister Mangala Samaraweera attempting to join hands with the IMF for this dead economy which can't be revived. This problem can only be resolved by the current government being sent packing, allowing a government led by opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa established in the country.
ඡන්දයක් තියලා ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදීව අලුත් රජයක් මේ රට බාර ගන්නවා නම් ඒකේ කිසි ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ මිරිස් කුඩු ගහලා, පුටු වලින් ගහලා, පිහි වලින් ඇනලා ඒ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී ආණ්ඩුවක් පිහිටවන්න බෑ. මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමනි, ඔබතුමාගේ කුමන්ත්‍රණයේ දවස් 52 කාලේ ඔබතුමාට බැරි වුණා මුදල් ඇමති හැටියට $1 එකක්වත් පිටරටින් ලබා ගන්න. ඔබතුමා ඒක දන්නවද?
මේ ගරු සභාව සම්පූර්ණයෙන් නොමග යවන සුළු විදියේ ප්‍රකාශයක්
ඒකට අවස්ථාව දෙන්න
බන්දුල ඔබතුමා මේ වගේ ගල්පල්පල් බොරු කියන්න එපා.
මම ඉතා පැහැදිලිව කියනවා ජාත්‍යන්තර මූල්‍ය අරමුදල මුලා කරන්න මේ ප්‍රාථමික ගිණුමේ 2018 අතිරික්තයක් තියෙනවා කිව්ව එක පට්ටපල් බොරුවක්.
අවුරුදු 50 ගානකට පස්සේ ප්‍රාථමික ගිණුමේ අතිරික්තයක් තිබුණේ 2017 බිලියන 2යි. මේ මෙතන බබහුක්කුන්ට මට මෙතුමා 11 12 13 14 අවුරුදු 4ට රුපියල් බිලියන 138ක් ගෙවන්න නැතුව අපේ බිලට දාලා තිබුණා.
The Colombo Fort Magistrate today ordered the Criminal Investigations Department to submit the evidence against former DIG Nalaka De Silva over the alleged plot to assassinate President Maithripala Sirisena and former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Colombo Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanayake made this order today when the CID informed court that there is sufficient and clear evidence to prove the said allegation. Accordingly, Colombo Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanayake also ordered the CID to submit the summary evidence report to the court on the 19th of March. The CID arrested the former Director of Terrorist Investigation Division, DIG Nalaka De Silva, in October last year, following the claims made by Namal Kumara of Anti-Corruption Force, a local activist group, over an alleged plot to kill President Maithripala Sirisena and former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Now, when the case was heard today before the Colombo Fort Magistrate, Deputy Solicitor General Dileep Peiris, representing the Attorney General Department, informed the court that sufficient evidence had been filed with regard to the alleged plot against the suspect. Officials from the Attorney General Department also told the court that former DIG Nalaka De Silva had introduced Nama Kumara to an LTTE cadre identified as Pushpa Raja in Batticaloa. The officials also said that the then DIG had sent Nama Kumar to Batticaloa in an office vehicle with a police constable attached to the TID. They also told the court that a discussion had taken place there to launch the alleged plot in somewhere in the north or east. They further told the court that former DIG Nalaka De Silva once had shown Nama Kumara the residence of Namal Kumara to kill the ASP from a weapon to be provided by him. Officials represented the Attorney General also told court that the former DIG had connections with the recently arrested underworking Pinma Kandre Madush and singer Amal Pereira. Now, considering the information presented, Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanayake directed the CID to produce a report on evidence against Nalaka De Silva at the next hearing. Accordingly, former DIG Nalaka De Silva was further remanded until the 19th of March as per the order of the magistrate. The All-Share Price Index closed 0.33% weak at 5,751.60, which is its lowest close since 27th of November in 2013. The benchmark stock index fell 1.43% last week and declined 2.9% in February, its second straight monthly fall. The market turnover was 385.1 million rupees, less than half of last year's daily average of 834 million rupees. Now, foreign investors sold a net 317.8 million rupees worth of shares today, extending a year-to-date net foreign outflow to 5.8 billion rupees worth of equities. Let's now take a look at how the market performed during the day.
Well, sentiment continued in both the capital markets today. With if you take the equity market, we saw high foreign participation, while 82% of the turnover was derived from JKH. In the bond market, of course, secondary market yield curve remained broadly unchanged with moderate volumes. We had the bill auction today with 1-year T-bills dipping to around 10.64%, dipping by 3 basis points.
The rupee ended firm at 180 rupees and 85 cents against the US dollar today. The currency had climbed 2% so far this year as exporters converted dollars and foreign investors purchased government securities amid stabilizing investor confidence after the country repaid a $1 billion sovereign bond in mid-January. With that, let's take a look at how the Sri Lanka rupee performed against the other currencies around the world. We will join you with some international news on the other side, so make sure you stay tuned.
You are watching Sri Lanka's #1 news channel. This is Derana 24.
According to international media, new satellite images of North Korea suggest it is restoring a rocket launch site it had pledged to dismantle. The images were taken 2 days after talks between the leaders of the US and North Korea ended without them reaching a deal on denuclearization. The Tonggangri site has been used for satellite launches and engine testing, never for ballistic missile launches. Work to dismantle it began last year but stopped as the US talks stalled. The pledge to dismantle it had been seen as a confidence-building measure between Pyongyang and Washington. And just to give you a brief update on the match, the second one-day international between Sri Lanka and South Africa is currently underway at the Super Sports Park in Centurion. South Africa was all out for 251. Sri Lanka is currently chasing with 52 to 3 wickets. And with that, we conclude this edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant evening.